How's it going, guys? My name is Lost and welcome to another Kingdom Hearts Union Cross video. And in this video we're going to be talking about some new information about PvP, player versus player, that is coming to Union Cross. This is a new informational board that just came out in KHUx JP, and so I wanted to share it with you guys because I know a lot of NA players do not play KHUx JP because of a language barrier, even though that is not a problem for us JP players because we have some of the best translators out there within the community and outside of the community with, you know, like different companies and whatnot. So we never have an issue with that, but of course we do have Google Translate from Google Chrome, and so even though it's not the best translation, it kind of sums up exactly what it is that they are trying to tell us. But if you guys don't know, it is a year since Union Cross was first implemented into the game. Before the whole title in general and the game was changed over to Union Cross, the game used to be called Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, but then they changed it to Union Cross for the new content that came out into the game. So basically this is kind of like a new thing that's going to be coming out this spring for KHUx JP. I'm not too sure when exactly it's going to be coming out for global, but let's go ahead and jump into the new information that just released into KHUx JP. So title says KHUx Union Cross Development Communication number 4. Thank you for always using Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. Renewed from the Ancient Key or Unchained Key to Union Cross, it will be 1 year today. So pretty much it's already been a year since Union Cross was implemented into the game. So I will introduce some of the updates or the updated content that is coming to Union Cross this spring. PvP mode, player versus player, new content of the battle under development. Now, if you look at this picture, which you guys can see the picture pretty good, you kind of get the feel like you're doing a fighting type game, like Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Like the style of it right there, you have your characters, you have the SP of the characters, the name and everything, you got the amount of score, and then you also have these little crowns right here. So I'm guessing that indicates how many rounds you have won. So it looks like there's going to be 3 or 4 rounds or battles max when going up against another player. Now, as you can see right here, you see the one player which looks like he is using the illustrated Sephiroth, who is a tier 5 and tier 5 reverse magic medal, and the player is using the animation, so you can see the amount of damage that it's doing, and you see the scores between both players. So it looks like the player on the left has already gone, and so now the second player is using his attacks right now to try to defeat. Now my guess is how this is going to work, because I'm not too familiar with fighting type games, but I'm taking a wild guess right here that this is going to be judged by the amount of damage that you do to the other player. So basically just bringing in your best medals. You know, of course you got to have your buffs and whatnot so you can implement more damage, even though it might be a little different for PvP. You never know. They might actually decide to change it up and you might not need some buffers. It'll just be like straight attacking medals. You never know. Anything can happen at this point. But this the one thing that does concern me a little bit is the fact that is how we're gonna get matched with other players. Because say if a free-to-play player, and I'm speaking for both JP and NA, say if a free-to-play player goes up against a whale every single time, that's gonna be very annoying and very disheartening for the free-to-play player, and of course the whale, or you know, players who put money into the game by VIP, if they're cheap to play, etc, etc. You know, they're just gonna be having a time of their life. So I'm really hoping that they do put some type of like an option menu where it'll say like, okay, I want to go up against this level of a player, you know, from here, from there, etc, etc. You know, me, as you guys know, I do put a good amount of money in this game. Most of the time, especially this year, is mainly towards EX medals, and so I would like to go up against players that are at my level. Now I wouldn't mind trying to go up against a player that is stronger than me. But of course, say if they are like dailies, like daily quests, like how we have like, oh, you gotta spawn 2 raid bosses, do this amount of quests every day, or maybe like the weekly jewel quests that they have. If there are easy requirements to it, I mean, honestly, I would probably be that guy to be going up against super easy players, super newbie players, just to be able to complete those dailies. You know what I mean? Now, talking about that, there might be also a possibility that they might add in extra daily jewels into, say, like a day-to-day or a weekly. That would be pretty sweet. That would mean that we would get some more jewels, which is freaking awesome. But so far, to what I have learned about this, I'm excited for this, and I'm really curious to know again as to how they are going to implement this, so that, you know, players who don't have the best medals or are not on par with whales or cheap to play, you know, don't get owned every single time that they're going up against somebody. So I'm hoping that they do implement some kind of system so that it can be fair for everybody, free to play, cheap to play, whale, ocean, freaking the planet, whatever. Now, another thing that that caught my eye was this right here. As you see, we got the HD Vanitas EX Kai, or Plus, if you want to you know, put it in NA terms, and he is a 6-star medal. But if you see right here, this is 7 stars. So basically, for this mode, and I'm hoping that it just stays strictly for this mode and not for the actual game in general, pretty much you can make your 6-star medals into 7. So that means your 6-star medals are gonna get even stronger. Would that mean potential tier 9 to tier 10 medals in the future? Would that be like a temporary thing? You never know. But the title says top reality opening, all medals are 7 stars. All existing 6 stars equipped medals can evolve to 7 stars. The basic performance is greatly improved when it becomes a tier 7 medal. So again, I really hope that this just stays strictly to PvP, but because if they bring this into the actual like game, like in general, like for like high score challenges, Coliseum and stuff like that, you know, the power gap between a lot of players is gonna greatly increase, and it's honestly, it's gonna suck for a lot of players who don't really go ham into this game, or, you know, are free to play, just because like they're gonna be so far behind already. So again, I really hope this just stays in PvP, and that's about it. Now, the final thing that is shown here in the information board is, let's take advantage of hands. Launch reinforce each Keyblade with subslot. So if you see this picture right here, there is a new button that's added whenever you're setting up your Keyblade. And then judging by the pictures, I believe this slot right here is where you put in extra medals, which is a total of 100. But this player right here on this screenshot, you have 4 medals already implemented in there. You see right here, this is a level 35 fairy stars. And so the multipliers, by judging by the 4 medals, and we don't even know which medals have been put into there, but just by putting 4 medals into that sub slot, the multipliers of the fairy stars all in general have gone up a little bit. And it makes me wonder, like, what are the multipliers going to be at 100 at 100? Is this going to be a permanent thing? Is this going to be just part of PvP? You never know. But judging by the fact that this is, you know, in the actual menu where you set up your Keyblade, this might be a permanent thing. And this can actually help out a lot of players that are struggling in Quest. But of course, whenever you make the player stronger, you're going to have to make the gameplay stronger. I mean, that's, in a way, that's pretty much business. And I think that's most likely how they're going to do it. But the rest of the information says sub-slot, which is that slot right there. To raise the strength of the Keyblade will appear. Use medals other than regularly used in battle. So basically, what it's trying to say is that all of the medals that you see right here are going to be used in battle, and then the ones that you're not going to be using are going to be put in that sub slot to increase the amount of damage that is going to do against the players in PvP. Now, judging by this screenshot right here, I believe we're not going to be using any buffers in PvP. only because it does say in in this photo, or it doesn't say, but I'm guessing that since we're going up since we are going up against other players and not actually Heartless, in this screenshot right here, you don't see a level. So most likely we won't have to worry about buffers and whatnot. We could just slap on our strongest metal. You know, I could put my Cloud EX Kai, my HD Vanita TS Kai. I could put my FFRK Terror on there. I could put my Scar metal on there, or my Sephiroth EX Kai. I could put the new Judy and Nick B metal that will be released here in about a week. Just imagine the setups, especially in PvP, which is why I'm saying I'm really hoping that they add in some kind of option menu to go up against certain players at a certain level. So I'm really hoping that does get I really hope that it does get implemented into the game like that, so that way it can be fair for other players. But that is it. That is all the information we've gotten so far about PvP. I will update you guys whenever we do get some new information. But again, let's have a great discussion in the comment section below. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, and I want it to be shared in the community. Judging by all of this information, and I will put the link to this information in the description below for you guys if you want to actually look at the stuff yourself. What do you think about this? Like, are there any pros? Do you see any pros to yourself as a player, judging by the level that you are in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross? What cons do you see about this? Let's go ahead and start a nice, awesome discussion in the comment section below, because I will be reading it. I will reply to some of the comments. But of course, everybody is free to give their opinion. Just make sure you do it in the nicest way possible. No arguments. Like I said, this is just us expressing how we feel. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video and you would like to see some more future KHUx content, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Thank you so much for watching the video. And as always, guys, I will see y'all in the next video.